Am I the a-hole for telling my sister to get over being cheated on by her husband after she laughed at me and told me to get over my breakup? I'm a 25-year-old with a 28-year-old sister and a 20-year-old brother. I am fairly close to both of them, but my sister and I grew up fighting a lot because she has a superiority complex and can be quite entitled. She is not super in your face about it, but after enough instances, you start to notice it. My sister is also married and has a 3-year-old daughter, for context. Anyway, I had a boyfriend and we had been dating since we were 19. Just a few weeks ago, he decided that he was not in love with me anymore and wanted to leave. I felt really bad about it for a while and would cry over it sometimes. It did not help that it happened around my mom's 60th birthday, so emotions hit me in the middle of us celebrating. My sister discreetly rolled her eyes and giggled when that happened. She also told me to stop killing the mood with my stupid crying and to get over it because he was just some boy. I walked away and let her be that way because all I was trying to focus on was calming myself down. Her words did not help, though. We had a big family reunion and birthday celebration for my brother last weekend. I was having a great time drinking and catching up with a few of my cousins who came all the way from Europe. It was chill until my sister stormed past us holding her daughter, looking red in the face with angry tears. That is when the night turned to utter crap. There was yelling, crying, and just straight up chaos. My sister found out her husband had been sleeping with a random coworker, and then everything spiraled. This went on for so long that it gave me a headache, and in the middle of my sister screaming at him again, I turned to her and yelled, "Maybe you should get over it and stop killing the mood with your stupid crying." She then called me a bunch of names I cannot repeat here, but later on, after she made her not-so-little exit, I got all the flack. My mom and dad got on my case for worsening the fight and for not letting go of the past. The night was ruined. I woke up the next day to a very long text from my sister saying how much I embarrassed her and made her feel worse, because now her child will not get to see her father as often, plus a whole bunch of other complaints. I left it on read and started to think I actually did go a bit overboard, and my parents and brother were practically begging us to make peace. I texted a long apology to my sister later that day, but she just read it and still has not responded. We still have not spoken. Am I the a-hole, or was it fair to be a bit mean? Edit. I was not super clear in that paragraph. My sister did not privately say what she said to me. I felt off halfway through the celebration, and when everyone else asked if I was okay, she started acting the way she did. I then walked away. Update 1. I appreciate all the feedback I got on my original post. For the most part, it seems most people think I am the asshole regardless of my sister being awful, which is fair, honestly. We ended up having a conversation which I do not even know how to navigate this because it felt like pulling teeth trying to get her to say sorry and understand that she hurt me in the beginning. She never apologized to me before the whole thing at the gathering. I called my sister on the phone today. I did not assume she would pick up, but I was very grateful she did. I asked her how she was doing, and she was understandably still very upset. She genuinely sounded sad. I apologized for the situation and told her she did not deserve to be cheated on. A lot was said, basically, and shockingly, she let me ramble on and on. I said sorry for humiliating her and explained why I reacted that way. I told her I wanted us to just have a normal relationship for once without all of the fighting. My sister did not apologize, but she said she did not respond to my messages because she felt humiliated and hurt, not because she was angry at me. She started crying a bit and told me that I would never understand her position, and that I would not have liked it if it were the other way around. I told her I understood that, but in the moment I remembered the hurtful things she said and how she was not there to support me but to mock me. Regardless, that still gave me no right to be a jerk, and I said that more than once. I also told her I never got an apology for what she said. All she said was, "Yeah, well, are you sure you do not just hate me or something?" I told her I did not hate her, but she could be awful quite often. In fact, I thought she hated me. The conversation did not really go anywhere overall. She eventually apologized, but then she got snarky with me again when I asked her if she truly meant it, because from the way she said it, it sounded more like, "I am saying sorry because you will not shut up about me not saying sorry," rather than, "I am saying sorry because what I said was wrong and inappropriate." I was not surprised, but at the same time, I thought we both would have had enough time to clear our heads and have a productive conversation. I got frustrated and told her something along the lines of, "I get that our relationships were not on the same level and I came out more of an a-hole, but I think you only care about how you feel right now." She told me she felt like the conversation was not going anywhere and preferred we stop talking for a bit. I accepted that, wished her and my niece well, and that was it. I am not going to force it. One of my cousins texted me about an hour later to check on me and told me she deserved it, so not to worry. They do not get along and did not interact at all at the reunion. I just wanted to be done with it all. It is what it is, honestly, and it was probably bound to happen, but I did have some hope. Thanks again for your honest feedback. Edit: I am not responding to anyone, but obviously you are entitled to your own opinions. I get her situation and she did not deserve it, but it would not have killed her to apologize. She had weeks to do so. Update 2: There is a good chance this might end up being the last update, but knowing my family, it very well might not be. Things have gotten wild since yesterday when I posted my first update. I am not even sure what happened, but suddenly I am scrolling through social media and my cousin is going off at my sister. I am talking paragraphs of insults on her story, calling her degrading names, a trashy mother, and saying she is glad her husband cheated. She even went as far as asking to fight her. In update 1, I mentioned that my sister and cousin do not get along and never interacted at the reunion. They had some stupid dispute years ago, and it heavily affected their relationship. Not only that, but now I am blocked by my sister. Anyway, I replied asking what in the world happened and where that was coming from. I'm still not 100% sure, but I think someone in the family instigated it by telling my cousin what my sister was saying about her. I'm assuming I was not the only person she told that she deserved my response. When I talked to my brother on the phone and told him she blocked me, he said, "Yeah, because she felt like you did not actually care," which felt very ironic coming from her. To sum it all up, I found out that, 1. My sister was perfectly fine with no longer speaking to me, and my relationship with my niece is now on the line because apparently I am a bitter, fake insult. 2. Half the family is arguing now and everyone has opinions. 3. My parents are begging my sister to make peace with me. 4. My sister insulted my cousin or something, and my cousin went off. 5. I regret even apologizing. My aunt is calling my mom and telling her to get her child, and now my mom is trying to defend my sister while my aunt is defending my cousin. So now it is a stupid battle between sisters and cousins. My sister is also threatening to call the police on them, according to my brother. My parents are now asking me to cut off my cousin and aunt because they are foul-mouthed, along with other insults I will not repeat. A lot of this is happening on social media and through messages. My cousin from Europe was texting me asking if I was involved in the chaos, but honestly, I am just the one hearing about it from everyone. I cannot tell if I started this or if it was going to happen anyway, but I told my brother, cousin, and parents that I am staying out of this because everyone is acting crazy. I am genuinely shocked the reunion even went as well as it did before everything fell apart. I am probably just going to sit back and let this unfold. It is too much. Final update: this is the last update for a long while, at least, because I do not have the energy to be invested in this foolishness anymore. My dad called me the other day and started yelling at me, blaming me for not sticking up for my sister. I could not believe my ears. I told him again that none of this was my problem anymore and that it is between my cousin and my sister. He screamed at me and said my sister is extremely stressed out and wants to move far away because of all of this. I asked him to tell me what actually happened. To sum up this latest chaos, my cousin and aunt threatened to call Child Protective Services on my sister because they thought my niece was not safe with her and her antics. My sister had a meltdown and threatened them back. My parents got concerned and went to check on her. She had been crying on the phone to them earlier, saying she was going to move away with my niece and stop attending family events because everyone clearly wishes she was dead, and she wants nothing coming between her and her child. I honestly did not know what to say other than to ask if my niece was okay. I do not care about my sister, to be honest. I do not know what to do. I am still blocked by my sister. I just told my dad that my sister did this to herself and to stop asking me to, A, defend her, because she would never do that for me, and B, talk to them until they realize that. Then I hung up and texted my brother to keep me updated on my niece if he hears anything, because I do not want to speak to our parents right now. I felt like that was the best I could do. I care more about my niece than my sister. I feel terrible for them both, but if I am being honest, my sister does not know how to be quiet or compassionate. I have put up with her acting like this for basically my whole life, and it is telling that I am not the only person in the family she constantly argues with. She falls out with someone and, instead of ignoring them, goes out of her way to be petty. I might not be perfect, but she is definitely not a good person. Either way, this is way too much for my mental health right now. I'm staying out of it, and as long as my niece is okay, I do not care about anything else.